Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Sri Quantum Academy. This is Sridhar Reddy, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government Degree College for Women, Nalgonda. Today I am going to discuss with you a topic from semester 5th electromagnetic theory. From that I am going to discuss with you Gauss law applications. The outlook of my talk is aim of my talk is to find out electric field intensity due to a sphere, uniformly charged sphere. To do this derivation, we require some basic previous knowledge about what is electric field and electric field intensity and flux and Gauss theorem. I will discuss all about those fundamentals and then we will go into the derivation. First, what is electric field? What is electric field? Electric field is the region surrounded by a charge in which another charge experiences a force. That means if there is a, see here, there is a charge Q surrounded by which a electric field is formed. Now in that field, if some another charge Q0 is coming, then that Q0 experiences a force. That is called electric field intensity. The force which is acting on this charge because of this electric field is called electric field intensity. It is defined as force per unit charge. Fundamental definition mathematically E is equal to F by Q. If you find out electric field at a distance r, then you will get intensity E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. This is electric field intensity. Electric field intensity, it is the force acting on unit positive charge in the electric field, right? Now next we will use electric flux. What is flux? Electric flux is nothing but the number of lines of force passing through given area. If you see the diagram, I have taken equal area surfaces. One is red color and another one is light blue, light black, and another one is light green color. If you see here, from red color block, there are only 2 lines of force passing. If you see black color, only 4 lines of force passing. If you see green color, there are 5 lines of force passing. That means in 3 cases I have taken same area, but number of lines of force passing through the same area is different in 3 cases. This indicates electric flux. Electric flux is the number of lines of force passing through given surface area normal to the direction of electric field. Generally it indicates the strength of the electric field. That means if there are more number of electric lines of force, that indicates that field is very strong. If there are very less number of electric lines of force, then that indicates that field is weak field. Generally the definition for electric flux is the scalar product of electric field intensity E and surface area A. Generally electric flux is denoted with phi, which is equal to E dot A. E is electric field intensity and A is surface area. Let us suppose I am taking small area ds and electric field intensity E, then my electric flux denoted with d phi is equal to E dot ds. To get total flux, I have to integrate. Now phi is equal to integral E ds. To remove dot product, I have to use cos theta. Now phi is equal to integral E ds cos theta. This is electric flux. The theta is the angle between surface normal drawn to the surface and electric field. Electric flux is measured with units Webers. Next one is Gauss law. What is Gauss law? The net electric flux through any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of the net charge enclosed by the surface. Before example I said from one area there are 4 number of lines passing, in another area 5 number of lines passing. In that way the total net flux through any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of the charge enclosed by this. Let us suppose this is my closed surface, here is my charge. Now the flux coming from this closed surface is given by 1 by epsilon naught times of the charge inside the closed surface. Actually flux phi is equal to what? Before I said integral E dot ds, that is equal to q by epsilon naught. If I remove dot product, I have to write cos theta. This is Gauss law. Let us suppose there are many number of charges inside the closed surface. Then what I have to do? I have to sum all the charges to get total charge. Let us suppose a closed surface contains several charges like plus q1, plus q2, plus q3, so on, minus q1 prime, minus q2 prime, minus q3 prime, so on. In this case, what I have to do? I have to take net charge as the algebraic sum of all the charges. That means instead of q, I have to write q1 plus q2 plus q3 plus so on, minus q1 plus minus q2 minus q3, like this, right? That means you have to take summation q. That means net charge can be calculated by summing all the charges, algebraic sum, right? This is Gauss law. Next, applications of Gauss law. Applications of Gauss law is mainly Gauss law is helpful to find out electric field intensity at different points due to various charge distributions. That means volume charge distribution. That means if there is a charge on sphere or a cylinder, then you can find electric field intensity. If there is a surface, non-conducting surface or conducting surface, then you can find out electric field intensity, or you can find out electric field intensity due to a line charge distribution like in wire with of infinite length. Now first today our application is we have to find out electric field due to volume charge distribution. Example for volume charge distribution is sphere. Sphere has a volume. Let us suppose there is a charge q on which which is distributed uniformly over a sphere. Then how to find electric field intensity due to that charged sphere at a point outside the sphere, at a point on the surface of sphere, at a point inside the surface of sphere. That means I have to find electric field at different points, 3 different points. One is outside and another one is on the surface and another one is inside the surface. For that what I am doing, what are the steps to follow this one is, first 3 cases we have to find electric field. What I have to do, first each case I have to draw a Gaussian closed surface, because to apply Gauss law the statement itself says the electric flux through closed surface. That means every time you have to take a closed surface. So each time you have to draw a Gaussian surface and find flux through general formula. What is general formula? Phi is equal to EDS, integral EDS, that is general formula to find flux. Next what you have to do? You have to apply Gauss law. What is Gauss law? Phi is equal to q by epsilon naught. Next what you have to do? You have to equate both flux, general formula flux and Gauss law formula flux. You equate these two, you will get electric field, right? Now see here, 3 cases, I said 3 cases you will get. What are these cases? Let us suppose, see here, here is my sphere, the center of my sphere is O, the radius of sphere is R, there is a charge q which is distributed uniformly. Now there is a point at a distance r outside the sphere P. Now first case is I have to find out the electric field intensity at point P, where it is at a distance r from the center outside of the sphere. For that what I have to do? I have to draw a Gaussian surface. This is my Gaussian closed surface. Now what I have to do? I have to find electric flux. For that I have to take a small area ds and electric field, and I have to use formula, right? Second case, This is my sphere. Now my point is on the surface of the sphere. What I have to do? I have to draw a Gaussian surface again. I have to take a small area ds and electric field E. Again I have to apply flux formula and Gauss formula. Third one. Next, this is my again sphere, same radius, point center is O, Q is charge distributed. Third case, what I have to do? My point is inside the sphere. If my point is inside the sphere, then what I have to do? Again I have to draw a closed surface and I have to take a surface normal and electric field. Then I have to apply Gauss law. This is the procedure to do. Okay. Now come to the derivation. First, let us consider a sphere of radius r and center O, which is charged with a charge q. That charge is distributed uniformly over the throughout sphere. Now volume charge density is rho. What is volume charge density? Rho is q by v, that means charge per unit volume. Now rho is charge per unit volume. Actually what is volume? Sphere volume formula 4 by 3 pi r cube. If I write that 4 by 3 pi r cube, then what I will get? Rho is equal to q by 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is equation number 1. Okay, this is my sphere. Now case number 1. What is case number 1? I have to find out electric field intensity at a point outside the sphere. Okay, now let us consider a point at a distance r from the center. Here r is greater than capital R because point is outside, so distance is greater than the radius. To find electric field intensity, what I have to do? I have to apply Gauss law and I have to draw a Gaussian surface like this. See here, this is my sphere over which charge q is distributed uniformly. Now this is my radius r, the sphere radius is r. Let us suppose at a distance r there is a point P at which I have to find out electric field intensity. For that I am drawing a Gaussian surface which looks like a sphere again, like this. Okay, what I have to do? I have to take a small area ds. ds is small area, the direction is normal to the surface area. Now electric field direction I have to write. How is the electric field direction? Already I have you know that from lines of force, always from positive they are outward of the center, outward from the center. That means electric field direction is also like this. Now what is the angle between E and ds? It is 0. Theta is 0. Now E and ds are parallel, so theta becomes 0. Then what is flux? Phi is equal to integral EDS. Apply integral EDS, then what I will get? EDS cos theta, theta becomes 0, then I will get integral EDS. If I simplify more, phi is equal to integral EDS. Actually E is constant, kept outside, integration differentiation cancel, then phi is equal to ES. Okay, this is general flux. Okay, now from Gauss law, what is Gauss law? Phi is equal to q by epsilon naught. This is Gauss law. What is phi? Integral EDS, that is equal to q by epsilon naught. Again, if I integrate EDS, E is constant, ds, that is equal to q by epsilon naught. That implies E into S, that is equal to q by epsilon naught. What is S? S is the Gaussian surface area. Here I have taken sphere. What is the surface area of sphere? Surface area of sphere is 4 pi r square. Substitute that one. What I will get? E into S. What is S? Surface area 4 pi r square, that is equal to q by epsilon naught. Right? Again simplify this one. Bring 4 pi r square this side. E is equal to q by 4 pi r square epsilon naught. Now just to rearrange this one, E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. This is electric field intensity due to a charged sphere at outside the sphere. Okay, right. Next, case 2. I have to find out electric field intensity at a point lies on the sphere. I already showed you if point lies on the sphere, then small r becomes capital R. So Gaussian sphere coincide with actual sphere. So simply substitute small r is equal to capital R in above equation. In above equation, here, see here, E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. In this equation, just substitute r is equal to capital R. Then what I will get? E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by capital R square. This is case number 2. Now case number 3. If my point lies inside the sphere, what to do? If my point lies inside the sphere, then what I have to do? Let a point lies inside the sphere at a distance r prime. Okay, now consider the distance is r prime from the center. Then draw a Gaussian surface with radius r prime, which looks like same. See here. Now case number 3, this is my center, sphere center O, and this is my radius r. Now my point is at this point P, which is inside the sphere. R prime distance, it is from r prime distance. Now draw a Gaussian sphere which looks like this. Okay, now what I have to do? I have to take a small area ds, and electric field is in this direction. Again they are parallel to each other, E and a ds, then theta becomes 0. If I apply Gauss law, no, not Gauss law, general formula of flux, integral E ds cos theta, theta becomes 0, then I will get E ds. If I simplify this one, integrate that one, E constant. If you do that, E into S. What is S? S is the surface area, Gaussian surface area. Surface area formula 4 pi r square, but here it is not r prime, because I considered it as r prime, so I have to write r prime. So 4 pi r prime square. Now what I will get? Phi is equal to E into 4 pi r prime square. This is equation number. This is general flux. Now what I have to do? I have to apply Gauss law. What is Gauss law? Phi is equal to q by epsilon naught. Here q is q prime, because here r is r prime, that's why I have written q is q prime. Q prime is the charge enclosed by the Gaussian sphere. What is the formula for volume charge density? Rho is equal to q by v. What is the volume of Gaussian sphere? 4 by 3 pi r prime cube, right? Now I am trying to find out charge. Generally volume charge density rho is equal to q by v. Volume formula 4 by 3 pi r cube, but here r prime cube. Now rho is equal to q by v, that implies q is equal to rho into v. Now q means charge. Charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface is equal to volume charge density into volume of the sphere. Now volume charge density is rho into what is volume? Rho into 4 by 3 pi r prime cube, right? Now this is charge. So Gauss law, what happens? Q is equal to q prime. What is q prime? Q prime becomes rho into 4 by 3 pi r prime cube by epsilon naught. This is Gauss law. But what is general electric flux? We have to, we derived E into 4 pi r prime square, that is general flux. From Gauss law flux, rho into 4 by 3 pi r cube pi r prime cube by epsilon naught. Just equate these two. What I will get? E into 4 pi r prime square is equal to rho into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now what I have to do? If I simplify, just bring that epsilon naught that side, E into 4 pi epsilon naught r prime square, that is equal to rho into 4 pi r prime cube. Again simplify this one, then you will get E is equal to rho r prime by 3 epsilon naught. How? See here, 4 pi r prime square cube is there, so only you will left with r prime, right? Epsilon is bring this side, so I will get E is equal to rho r prime by 3 epsilon. But initially, what is rho? Q by 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is first equation. Substitute this rho here. See here. Now substitute here. If I substitute rho value Q by 4 by 3 pi r cube, then what I will get? E is equal to Q by 4 by 3 pi r cube into r prime by 3 epsilon naught. If I simplify that one, E is equal to Q by 4 by 3 pi r cube into r prime into 1 by 3 epsilon naught, because fraction by fraction, below fraction you have to invert it. Then if I simplify that one, what I will get? E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q r prime by r cube. That means E is equal to Q by 4 by 3 pi r 4 Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r prime by r cube. This is electric field intensity at inside the sphere. Okay, right. Now what you did till now? We find out at a point outside the sphere. What you got? E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Next you find out electric field at surface. You got q by r square. Also you derived equation for point inside the sphere. What you got? E is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r prime by r cube or rho r prime by 3 epsilon naught. Now if I draw a graph between electric field intensity on y-axis and corresponding distance on x-axis, this is I will get. As you increase the distance from the center, initially it is proportional to r prime. See here, initially E proportional to r, that's why graph increasing slowly. But if I go outside the sphere, then r inversely proportional to 1 by r square, that's why it is decreasing. So this is the graph between electric field intensity and the corresponding distance, right? See here, again we derive the same story. Generally case number 1, what I did, I found electric field in electric flux. Generally flux formula is E into ds integration. You will get Es. What is S? Surface area. Now using Gauss law, this I get, equate these two, then what I will get? Just E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. Next, this is electric field intensity at outside. Next one is case number 2. If my point lies on the sphere, then what I have to do? Small r becomes capital R, then simply I have to substitute small r is equal to capital R. Then what I will get? E is equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught q by r square, right? Next case number 3. What is case number 3? Point lies inside the sphere at a distance r prime. Then I have to draw a Gaussian surface, and again I have to find out flux. Theta becomes 0, so flux is equal to E ds cos theta, just E ds. If I simplify, I will get just E into S. What is this? Gaussian sphere surface area 4 pi r prime square, right? This is the equation. Next, if I use Gauss law, what is Gauss law? Q prime by epsilon naught. Now Q is the charge inside the Gaussian sphere. Since rho is equal to Q by V, from that Q is equal to rho into V. Now volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r prime cube. If I substitute that one, then I will get Q prime is equal to rho into V prime. Q prime is equal to rho into 4 by 3 pi r prime cube. Now from that electric flux is this one. Equate these two values. If I equate these two, what I will get? 4 pi r prime square is equal to rho into 4 by 3 pi r prime cube by epsilon naught. Just simplify it, you will get E is equal to rho r prime by 3 epsilon naught. But rho is equal to Q by 4 by 3 pi r prime cube. substitute here, then I'll get E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R prime by R cube, right? So now what I did, outside the sphere and on the sphere, surface of the sphere, and inside the sphere, right? This is what we derived, and also we have drawn a graph between them. Finally, summary. I have discussed about electric field and electric flux and Gauss theorem and its applications to find out electric field intensity due to a sphere, right? Thank you very much. Please watch my videos, share and comment. If still if you are not subscribed it, please subscribe.